Hi everyone, I'm Christopher. I write film-related stuff for the Weekly Volcano. We are in the thick of Tacoma Film Festival. Today is Sunday, 10/10/10, and I walked over to the History Museum in Tacoma for a little screening called Grit City Flicks. So level 2. It's pretty exciting.
I just flew in last night.
It's really kind of great to, see independent films from all over the place.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Grit City Flicks had a great turnout. Several hundred people, I think, showed up. First film we watched was a short called Valuable from directors Josh Adams and Scott Perry. It's basically a action drama. A guy wakes up in the middle of a forest. He's got a briefcase handcuffed to his arm, and suddenly he's being shot at. There's good editing and good choice of shots from the directors. I think some of the scenes, though, were kind of unnecessary, like the scenes kind of showing how this guy got to the point in the forest that he was at. But this is the first festival that the directors have gotten their work shown into. They plan on submitting it to SIFF as well. So if you weren't able to make it today to the screening, you might be able to see it at SIFF in next year. The next film was a complete change of pace, a film called The Persistence of Beauty by Chris Cruz. Chris actually submitted a 5-minute version of this film to the Grand Cinema's 72-hour film contest last year. And the film this time around was actually much longer. It was 18 minutes. The film is very simple. It's about a young girl who's lost her mother, and she's being raised by her dad. There's a sweet, kind of tender story here, but really the whole 18 minutes of the film is just a montage of the two of them playing at different parts in Tacoma. At some point you kind of just have to move the plot forward, and it has to kind of go in a different direction, and unfortunately Persistence of Beauty did not do that. It's actually available to see on YouTube. If you type in Persistence of Beauty, it's broken up into 2 parts, so you can watch the whole thing and see what you think, and if you disagree with me, leave some comments below. Okay, then we switched gears again, and we watched a comedy called A Glitch in the System, which I co-wrote with Randy Sparks, and shot several of the scenes. And this is the first time that I've actually seen the film. The story is about this guy who's been wrongfully imprisoned for like 25 years, and suddenly he's released into the world. A lot of the jokes seem to work with the audience. I think the editing could have been like a little faster in some scenes. Like you could have just moved the story along quicker. Some of the audio just didn't sound great, so I think that might have, some of the jokes were kind of lost in that. I'm open to criticism, so I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on what you thought of my film. Film number 4 was a short 7-minute documentary called The Color of Fred. There's a local artist I've never heard of in Tacoma called Fred Novak. He draws these interesting collages of classic Hollywood starlets and Disney characters. I think it actually could have been a little bit longer. It was kind of over and done before we could really kind of get into Fred. The best 2 films, in my opinion, were saved for the end of the screening. One of them was called 20 Seconds by director Brian Johnson. It's about this guy who stumbles across this kind of time travel device that lets him go back in time, 20 seconds to be exact, and he's kind of forever trapped in there, and so he kind of has to find his way out. The director makes consistently entertaining films every year for the 72-hour film festival, and I wish he would make more. The pacing of 20 Seconds is very good. It moves along like in a very kind of brisk rate. You're kind of swept up into the comedy of it very well. 20 Seconds you can also watch on YouTube as well. Last but not least was David Derrickson's Mr. Radio. This, in my opinion, was the best film of the night. It's a black and white silent film set in 1920s America. This woman leaves her husband, and there's a new invention out called the radio, which he's all like ecstatic about, and he listens to it constantly. It's got some good humor in it. Beautiful cinematography from Patrick Neary, who has another film out in the festival right now called Calvin Marshall with Steve Zahn, Taven Silverman. Enough said. You got some great acting from the lead, Craig Saylor, who's actually the arts and entertainment editor for the News Tribune. Really does a good job of kind of capturing that whole silent cinema acting style, like very kind of melodramatic and over the top, and The makeup is great, the costumes, the vehicles, just a wonderful film. David Derrickson, a very talented filmmaker. I hope to see more works from his soon. He actually has a video production company in Seattle called Active Film, and his website, which will be up and running soon, is activefilm.net. So check him out and check others out, and also check out the rest of the films playing at Tacoma Film Festival. There's 4 more days left to go. Tons of great stuff out there, so if you have time, see as much as you can. I'm Chris from The Volcano, signing off. Out.